What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. And to be completely honest with you, I've been researching the executive orders by Trump and Biden that's caused the hype to the June 3rd run-up. And as I done my research, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, man, something wrong. Because what I'm reading and interpreting was different than what's put out there today. And so I struggled with making this video and explaining what I see, because everybody believes a particular YouTuber when he says the executive orders, you're going to be so freaking rich. Until last night. Last night on a live stream, I heard another YouTuber make the comment when they was asked about the executive orders and June 3rd. He said, well, I have a slightly different belief, but because this individual has this position, he didn't want to talk about it. Now, wait a minute. You read the executive orders. You've come to a different conclusion than someone else, but you won't share that conclusion with us. But anyway, I was on that same rabbit trail, and I had the same problem. Do I come out with this information that would basically buck this major YouTuber and all of his followers be mad? And I said, well, yeah, because you know me, I don't give a fuck about offending nobody. Truth's the truth, and here we are. And I'm going to take you step by step through each executive order and show you what the purpose was and everything. We're going to read them together, and I'm going to tell you what's important to look at here. All right. The first executive order was Executive Order 13959, signed by Donald Trump on November 12th, 2020. It prohibited all U.S. investors, institutional and retail investors alike, from purchasing or investing in securities of companies identified by the U.S. government as communist Chinese military companies. Stop. Okay. Really? To be honest with you, that's common freaking sense, people. Why would you profit your enemy's military? I mean, you're helping to build them up. So this was a needed executive order. Executive Order 13959, Section A, signed November 12, 2020. Part A, I says, and it says, beginning January 11th, 2021 at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, any transaction in publicly traded securities or securities that are derivative of or are designed to provide investment exposure to such securities. All right, you can't use none of this, they're saying, of communist Chinese military company as defined in Section 4A I of this order is prohibited. On January 11th, 2021, at 9:30 in the morning, you will not be able to transact any of these communist Chinese military stocks in accordance with AI. Section B here says, beginning at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time on a date that is 60 days after January 11th, 2021, which would be March 12th, a person is deemed to be a communist military company pursuant to Section 4A, 2, and 3. So notice Part A right here covers Section A and I. And down here it covers A, 2, and 3. That's the difference in this. But it's the same thing, just they're adding more securities that they can't transact. All right, but the point is January 11th is the first date, starting at 9:30. So if we go to our chart and we look, we see that January 11th is right here. All right. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 days away from the run-up. January 11th. Okay. Back to our notes. Here we see next, on January 13th, 2 days after that executive order took effect, just 2 months later, President Donald Trump amended Executive Order 13959 and signed Executive Order 13974, which amended Sections B and C of Order 13959. Now, that's not too complicated, people, really. What this really is saying is he signed this executive order in November, and he amended it in January. 2 days after it was in effect, he signed Executive Order 13974. And it amended Sections B and C of the order. Now, I come down here, and what I've done is I took Sections B from the November executive order and Section B of the new executive order, and I compared to see what the difference was. What was it that he amended? And basically, they are exactly the same with the exception of this sentence. It says, effective at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on November 11th, 2021. Possession of any such securities by a United States person is prohibited. So, President Trump signed the first executive order, 13959. Then he amends it. And he says, not only can you not trade in these stocks, people, on 11:59 November 11, 2021, if you're caught in possession of them, you're in violation of this executive order. So, what Trump said was, you can't only trade in it, not trade in it, you can't possess it. Get it out of here. So, that's what the scramble was here. Then, the majority difference in the two executive orders where he amended Section B is making it prohibited for anyone to even possess Communist Chinese military securities. Then I put Sections C together, the first one and the amended version, and it was the same thing. Again, the major difference in the two executive orders where he amended Section C is where it is prohibited for anyone to even possess Communist Chinese military securities 60 days after signing the bill. That was the major difference in both sections. Then old Joe. Pulls up and he writes Executive Order 14032, signed by Joe Biden on June 3rd, 2021. And it says, in Section 1, Sections 1 through 5 of Trump's original executive order, and as it was amended in the second executive order, are hereby replaced and superseded in their entirety to read as follows. So, what Joe just did was he said, what all Trump said, yeah, I'm saying this. And he rewrote Sections 1 through 5. Well, he didn't. Somebody did. Sections 1 through 5 of the executive order. So I went through it and I said, okay, let's take a look at 1 through 5. What's the difference? And Sections A of Section 1 says it's prohibited to purchase or sell any of the publicly traded securities or any publicly traded securities that are derivatives of such securities. We went over this. All right. Of any person listed in the annex. Okay. And then where Trump stopped with the military companies, Biden's executive order included surveillance technology sectors also. So his list of who would be sanctioned is longer than Trump's. And that it's going to be important that any person listed in the annex, the new annex, a person who is listed in the annex, see how it says it again. I think it says it one more time. There it is again. With respect to the persons listed in the annex. The new annex, the one that's got like 70 to 100 companies, added companies to it. Section 1, here's where it gets good, people. And I hope y'all stayed with me up to this point, because this is where it's going to, the rubber meets the road here. And it says, he wrote Section C to say the purchase or sale of publicly traded securities described in subsection A up here, those things, of this section made solely to effect the divestment, the purchase or sale of publicly traded securities described in subsection A, which we just went through above, of this section, solely to effect the divestment or the selling off subsidiary business interests in whole or in part of such securities by the United States person is permitted prior to June 3rd. That's where we get our June 3rd date. All right, but let's look at what it's saying, people. It says that currently they are able to trade these stocks for one purpose, solely to effect the divestment in whole or in part of such securities by a United States person is permitted. All right? It means you can sell this shit off, but you cannot accept no more. As of June 3rd, no more. So, here's my point, and this is what confused me. He wrote this when? Well, let's look at the last paragraph. The purchase or sale of publicly traded securities described in the list of China's military companies made solely to effect the divestment or the selling off of the companies listed in the annex below. You could sell them off, people, but you could not buy none. As of June 3rd, it kills it. No more Chinese shit. Okay? Now, that come to my mind. No, I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. This executive order was June 3rd of 2021. Okay? But in a nutshell, what does all this mean? It means that he signed this executive order on June 3rd, 2021, and told them they had 1 year to get rid of everything, Chinese military, technology sectors, get it out of here. They had 1 year to do that. That's what this executive order means. Now, if each hedge fund and each money maker and so forth obeyed this executive order, they would have been divesting throughout the year. They would have been removing this China shit out of their portfolios throughout the year. That's what this executive order was meant to do. It bought them 1 year to divest, which means sell it off, get rid of it. We don't care to who. We don't want it no more. As of June 3rd, 2022. Now, if they did that, then why would there be a spike in the price? It would be a collateral letter finding out what risk management everybody is at and how much they're going to have to pony up if they did not follow this executive order. But if they did follow this executive order, for example, Morgan Stanley, if Morgan Stanley followed this executive order and throughout the year consistently sold off any Chinese related securities that they had, they no longer hold Chinese securities, They are prepared for June 3rd when the haircut comes. So, that also I've discovered right before making this video. I said, let me make one more run through YouTube, see what everybody's saying about this before I make my video. And I'd be damned if Boss Blunts don't have a new video up and he's saying that Fidelity has stated that they are divesting right now, getting ready for June 3rd. So we should start seeing a movement in price as of right now if Fidelity is doing it. See, when they start getting rid of it and replacing it, that's when the spike happens. And according to what Boss Blunts just said, if Fidelity is starting the divestment process of getting rid of the Chinese stocks and bringing in the American stocks to replace the collateral, then we should start seeing a price rise starting tomorrow. That's my view on it. The point is this, people. We can mow ash tomorrow. We can mow ash Wednesday. We can mow ash Friday. We can mow ash June 3rd. We can mow ash June 25th. Nobody knows. But what this is telling us is as we hear of them divesting like Fidelity, which Boss Blunts just talked about, that's when the spike comes. Love y'all. Be blessed. I'll see you in the next video.